Hi guys, it's Melody. I am doing Reflection 9 over assistive technology. Assistive technology is a piece of equipment or product system that is customized or modified to increase, maintain, or improve capabilities of someone with disabilities. I have 2 years experience in an autism classroom, and that's what I want to go back to, is an autism classroom as soon as I'm finished with school. So this is near and dear to my heart because this is something that we used in the classroom that I was in a lot and something that I'll use in my future classroom. The role of assistive technology in the classroom is extremely important, especially when you're in a special needs classroom. The most important thing is that it helps aid those with disabilities. It helps them to learn and to get the best education that they can, and it's your job as an instructor to figure out all of these different assistive technologies and find ways to help each student, no matter their disabilities. There's so much out there that comes with the assistive technology. My past experiences that we did a lot in the classroom are timers, visual aids, inflatable cushions. Exercise balls were really big in my classroom. It really helped the students with their sensory needs. When we were doing whole group activities and things like that, to be able to sit on the ball and to bounce. And to be honest, it definitely helped keep the behaviors in line. It definitely decreased the misbehavior whenever we would do whole groups. Headphones to block out the noise or another thing that we used, and also writing supporters. So I feel that I have a decent amount of experience with the assistive technology, but I did still learn quite a bit this week. The most interesting assistive technology that I learned this week would be the voice recognition. I don't have any experience with that, so it was kind of interesting, to learn about that with the built-in command mode that takes spoken language and turns it into readable format. I think that will be extremely helpful in my future classroom. It's just something that I don't have experience with as of right now. 3 of the 6 applications that I'm going to choose to talk about is communication. I'm really big into communication. An example of that is going to be the PECS and the communication books. Those are something that were big in our classroom and that are in the majority of autism classrooms. I think actually all autism classrooms and a lot of other special education classrooms. They're extremely helpful, and I definitely encourage others to use those as well. Mobility is another thing. Walkers, canes, wheelchairs. A couple things that I thought of that I didn't notice that were mentioned were scooters and chairlifts. Both of those are important, and they really help students. I just didn't notice that they were mentioned this week. Environmental interaction. The things that come to mind are sensory objects. We had a sensory classroom in the school that I worked at, and any time that a student was overstimulated or anything, we would take them into the sensory classroom, and that always helped calm them and get them back on track and where they needed to be. But also in the classroom we had a lot of sensory objects, such as balls, water bottles. There's a lot of different things that we had that would help our students. An additional assistive technology that I found that is extremely important is smart boards. Each classroom in the school that I worked at had their own smart board, and we used ours all the time. Things that we can do on the smart board, it's just endless. There's so many different options. Lessons, games, circle time, that helped a lot, during circle time, whenever we would do different subjects and different lessons on the board. One thing, if everybody did good, if everybody was working hard, they knew that they would get to play, that game that they wanted at the end, or hear the song that they wanted to hear. There was just so many different options, and we used ours a lot, and I think that each classroom should have that. It's very beneficial to students, especially those with disabilities. Thanks, guys. Have a good week.